Man, I don't know if I'm amazed or sad by what I'm seeing out of this Coach Prime situation, but there are so many people who are missing the point and deliberately missing the point. Talking about, what's wrong with somebody advancing their career? What's wrong with somebody, 10 times their bag? Why are you so upset that he gave Jackson State all those type of money, right? And none of that stuff's the point. Do y'all remember what Coach Prime said, what he sold? Hold that man accountable for his words. And I see this all over society right now where people don't hold people accountable. We have the memory of a goldfish. People are constantly telling you who they are. We give them the benefit of the doubt they don't deserve. And then when they renege on the stuff they talk about, we give them a pass. And we tell, oh, I get it, I understand. And it's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. That's the first part with this Deion stuff. We're judging him according to his own word, the own standard he set for himself. So you don't get to move the goalposts on the back end when he reneges on what he said, right? He was in the wrong for that. If he was just using that job to, as his first rung in the coaching ladder, he was always gonna dip. Fair enough. That's not what he said. That's not what he sold his kids. The second part that is, making me concerned is just this mentality we have as a people where we think the goal is to get a better job. And, I'm not anti-job. I've had a job my whole life, right? So I'm not anti-job, but this idea that the goal is to find a better and better paymaster, it's hustling backwards for me. And I don't get how we come from George Floyd a couple years ago where everyone was talking about black on this, black on that, reclaiming our platforms, reclaiming our talents, reclaiming our people, stop working for people who don't appreciate you or value you, right? What happened to that energy? All of that goes out the window for $5 million. And all of a sudden that justifies it. And all of a sudden, them ashy ass black kids at Jackson State need to be grateful that he even graced their ashy ass with his presence. Because he didn't have to do that. Right? And I'm just like, what are we talking about here? Why are there so many black people caping up for college football and the University of Colorado? It makes zero sense to me. And y'all got no self-respect. He was building something, and building stuff takes time. We was supporting him. And you saw it in the YouTube numbers. You saw it in the outcry on social media over his success and then now his betrayal. This meant so much more than football. And the fact that so many black people can't see past motherfucking football, it's disheartening. It is really, really disheartening. Why are we in the place we are right now? Why are we at the lowest rung of American society? When is that going to change? How long are we going to keep on acting like success is getting away from black folks and in with white folks? Successful is getting a good white job and moving into a good white neighborhood and sending my kids to a rich white private school. That's success in this country to black people. And it's sickening. It's backwards. And we celebrate that type of selfish attitude, talking about, he don't owe nobody nothing. What? What? What happened to It Takes a Village? Was that all just this talk we was talking about? Because honestly, that's what I'm starting to see. A lot of it is just talk, and people have no idea what they're talking about or what they're fighting for. Because when we talk about these lofty goals where we want to go as a people, but when it comes down to the baby steps along the way to get to those lofty goals, we never get there. Because as soon as someone does one or two steps, in comes the white power structure, throw them a bag, pull them up out of there, and undercut whatever movement they had going. and so on this treadmill. What do you want Dion to do? I want him to stand on his word. I want him to fight for the culture. Had he stayed at Jackson State, he was showing the blueprint. Why don't we uplift SWAC? Because you know what's going to happen? If SWAC starts getting these top recruits and these high-profile coaching, you know what's going to happen? The money's going to roll in. The TV money's going to come in. The facilities are going to get better. The campus is going to get better. Look at all these college campuses. I graduated in 2006. And during my time in college and since then, all I've seen is non-stop building on all these major campuses, funded by the sports program. They're making so much goddamn money, they don't know where to put it. They're building lazy rivers in the dorms because they have to spend this money to show that they're making a profit. Like they're literally driving a truck with dollar bills flying out the doors. So much money we're talking about. And that's off the backs of black talent. And all they're getting in exchange is a scholarship, which doesn't actually cost university any money. That's all paper accounting. They allow a student to enroll in that school, and then they bill the athletic department for that tuition. And people act like it's, they're be grateful they're getting a scholarship. They're getting a scholarship. They're getting a waiver that allows them to go to school for free. Meanwhile, the school gets to write that off as an expense. It's a cold game. But y'all would rather support the institution. Y'all rather keep funding these big-ass white schools who don't support you and don't fund your causes. And then you want to sit here and cry about George Floyd, about like, oh my God, when the things going to change? When are we going to do stuff? This is what change looks like. You know, say what you want about Dr. Umar. He puts his money where his mouth is. And the amount of hate and vitriol he gets from black folks for trying to do something. And what he's trying to do is hard. Trying to get funding that's no strings attached, it's tough. But we want to applaud all these black people and their nonprofits for doing these, for getting these grants and these foundations and all that type of stuff. And around, most of them don't do a damn thing but assuage white guilt. Or we act like that's doing something. And now that foundation has an executive director, and he's getting six figures. And he gets to be a pillar of the community. And not a near sense going back to the community. It's going back to the nonprofit, back to the fundraising, back to events, back to marketing the foundation. Nothing towards actual change. Because people aren't interested in change. They're interested in monetizing the struggle. You know, with that attitude, white folks will always get in there and undermine our interest in what we're trying to get accomplished. But this Coach Prime stuff, man, I shouldn't be shocked. I shouldn't be sad. I shouldn't be disappointed, man. But this shit is heartbreaking, man.